Hi, today is Friday, February 21st, 2025, and I'm Jen from Behind the Scenes Tarot. So yesterday we all saw Kash Patel got confirmed as FBI director, and I wanted to understand what are the impacts of that for him walking into the office of the FBI. But before looking into the energy of the FBI now that he's in, I actually wanted to have something to compare it against. So I'd like to look at the energy of the FBI previously. And then we'll look and see what kinds of changes are being made, because I'm sure he's going to be doing a lot of things different. So let's just kind of see, how is the FBI run leading up to this point? So show me the true behind the scenes energy of the FBI during the Biden administration. Show me the true behind the scenes energy of the FBI during the Biden administration. We got to have something to compare it against. 3, 2, and 1. Energy of the FBI under the Biden administration. Okay. King of Cups and the Eight of Wands. So right off the bat, the King of Cups is sort of this is a bit of a shady guy. He doesn't always tell the complete truth. And this is behind the scenes in the current, in like a current position during the Biden administration. In the past position, the Hierophant. So this is sort of like officialdom. There's a decree. This is how it needs to be. And this could actually be, sort of shadow government. This is the people above the president. It's sort of like the true powers that be are the ones dictating sort of the energy. In the at the service position is the moon, secrets, holding on to secrets, protecting those behind the curtain, and that is a direct order. Okay, in the future position going forward, we see the Six of Swords, the Four of Wands, and the Four of Swords, almost as if saying things are going to start moving in a different, moving into calmer waters. This is sort of moving forward. The Four of Wands is sort of a victorious place. And the Four of Swords, just sort of holding on to secrets, keeping things close to the vest, not expressing them, being quiet about what you see. And this could actually be moving people to safety. I'd like to clarify. Let's go into the Six of Swords. Let's clarify what that actually means. It's the Four of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, and 10 of Swords. What this is telling me is during the Biden administration, in terms of how the FBI had been run, protecting people, kind of helping them get off the grid, so to speak. This is about protecting assets, people, information. And once that has been protected, victory, right? We don't have to talk about it anymore. It's already been taken care of. So the way that they dealt with secrets is by helping push people off to the side so they're no longer in the spotlight or the line of fire. So there was very much an element of protecting those within their inner circle. Let's look at King of Cups. The Seven of Cups, Two of Swords, Three of Cups. Victory in creating confusion and stopping of information flow. That's sort of that sign of the King of Cups, right? So the information, the secrets that they were holding on to, that was part of their strategy. That was the intent. The intent is to not let information out. The intent is to protect their witnesses or people, their folks on the payroll, or those, additional assets that they were trying to protect, those that knew their secrets. Let's look at the moon. What kind of secrets did they have? Eight of Pentacles, the Star, and Ace of Wands. Well, they were working on a variety of different things. I'm not going to be able to know specific details. I'm not getting any intuitive hits in terms of what those secrets are, except for the fact that it's quite possible that they could become exposed at some point. They were just a lot of things that they were working on. They really needed to keep them secret. Let's look at the Hierophant. Who is giving these pathways, these directives, these orders? The Hierophant, the King of Swords, and Page of Swords. So, I mean, truth and integrity in terms of the plan. I mean, people followed that plan. The plan was to create secrecy, to create confusion, while that allowed them, under the cloak of secrecy, to be able to execute their plans. And when they were finished with those plans, they would then protect those assets, moving them onto calmer waters so they were protected and we didn't have to discover anything further about them. Let's finish up this particular reading, diving into the Four of Swords, Death card, Three of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. I mean, these could be literal deaths, right? So, you know, they're no longer useful assets to us. We've moved them out. They're either dead, they faked their death, or they're just no longer in the public spotlight. So they can move forward and sort of making sure that problems go away. It's kind of the way I get it. Bottom of the deck, Seven of Swords, which is a strategy, deception card, and Ace of Swords at the top of the deck, in terms of the stories, the narrative that they spin. So quite interesting. I mean, yeah, I mean, this is sort of the inner workings of you know, a controlled operation, a way of being able to massage the narrative, to be able to work under the cloak of secrecy, and to then once they're finished with their objective, move those assets out of the way, really not to be surfaced ever again, whether it's a literal death or a metaphorical death, giving them a new life, sort of like the equivalent of a witness protection program, the deep state protection program. Very interesting. So this is the energy of how FBI had been run during the Biden administration. Let's take a look at how the energy is going to be run now that Kash Patel is the director of the FBI. So show me the true behind the scenes energy of the FBI with Kash Patel as director. What will the FBI look like going forward? Show me the true behind the scenes energy of the FBI with Kash Patel as director. Woo! Cards are moving around. All right, 3, 2, and 1. All right, here's the FBI as Kash Patel as director. Judgment. And 3 of Swords in the behind the scenes position. In the past, 9 of Wands. Present is conflict. So interesting. So right off the bat, we have someone here who's been waiting in the wings to be able to come in and kind of shake things up and say, this is not how it's going to happen. We're going to change the way things are going. And there's going to be some disappointment, some upsets. And people are saying, hey, that's not the way we used to do it. But there's a new directive in town, right? There's a new order in terms of how the FBI is going to run. So I'd like to be able to dive into these cards a little bit more. But let's finish out. Let's look at the future position. Future position is Justice, a legal card, 7 of Pentacles, and the Lovers. Well, this is interesting because Pentacles is something physical, but it can also be financial as well. Justice, moving into the balance. How are things done legally? Are they, you know, moving money in an appropriate, proper way? Lovers, the government, in terms of how the government is operating. How is the government legally moving money? How are they, you know, whether it's an exposure of that, or if it's actually righting, I'll call them the wrongs of the past, or just putting like a new process in place in terms of how they're legally moving money around. Let's get an overall reading. Ace of Pentacles and the 10 of Swords. So what this is telling me is that there's the ending to how money has been moved around. That might be part of this conflict here. There's obviously a lot of conflict at the surface, especially when you've got a changing of the guard, when we're going from one extreme to another. We already saw how in the Biden administration, how the FBI operated. It was very much under the cloak of secrecy. They had their objectives, and then they moved their people into safety, or, you know, a literal or metaphorical death, basically moving them out of the public eye. But let's clarify what this conflict is. Excuse me. The Empress, 3 of Wands, and the Four of Cups. So giving birth to a new way in terms of the conflict is basically the clash of cultures and of saying, that's not how we're going to do it anymore. We're now going to, we're going to move down a new path and start, exposing some of these things, right? Putting an end to the way money had been manipulated in the past, giving more exposure in terms of how the government and the legal system operate, giving more transparency to the financial dealings, quite honestly. Let's clarify the Judgment card. The King of Wands, the Moon, and the Seven of Swords. So there's a strategy around secrets that there's a plan in place, a strategic plan in place around secrets. And the Judgment card is sort of a reveal. So I almost feel like, part of the objective is to reveal secrets. Let's clarify the Moon card. The World, the Hierophant, and the Nine of Cups. This is interesting because we saw in the previous reading about how the FBI had been operating under the Biden administration. The Hierophant was actually what I was getting was it's sort of its source, its leader, its directive. And this is saying we're putting an end to that. That old guard is done. That is the secret that gets exposed. Who really was running the government? Who was running the FBI? Who was actually in charge of the different initiatives that the United States was engaging in, whether it be war or, enemies or whatever that happens to be. But whoever the powers that were, they are now coming to an end. That is going to get exposed. That is the strategic secret that the FBI is going to start to unveil. Let's clarify the Three of Swords. The Devil card, the Hermit, and the Queen of Wands. This is the pathway of the deep state. This is what's disappointing. It's almost as if the public sentiment is going to be disappointed in terms of what they learned, once they realize that the gig is sort of up, right? That and I'm sorry, you can't necessarily see those cards back there too much with my card view, but essentially what we're saying here is, as we expose who was previously in charge, the public is going to be disappointed, and they're going to be told this is how they used to do it. This is how they put those plans in place. We might actually be given sort of not necessarily the playbook of how they were doing, but they're going to expose the secrets. They're going to expose the corruption. They're going to expose the pathway of the deep state in terms of what they were doing. And it's going to be very disappointing to the public. But we have to get past this sort of inner conflict first in terms of the fact that, we're shifting gears. And anytime you change momentum, there's always, a little bit of conflict there, some, energy dissonance. Let's look at the Seven of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune. So this is our shift of energy. This is us starting new. So we're winding down things from the past. We're exposing the secrets and the pathways and the plans and the things that they put in place. And now we're exposing a totally new direction. Let's look at the Lovers, which to me is representing the US government. Two of Wands, the Tower, and the Five of Cups. This is exposing things that we didn't see before. And it could be shocking revelations in terms of things that we're discovering, the things that we're uncovering that are just really kind of no bueno as we start to move into this new shift of energy and we start to reveal. It's going to be very shocking. Let's clarify the Tower card. Five of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. There's going to be some information that's going to come out and they're going to bring evidence with it. And it's going to be a sort of a justification of saying, here's what we've uncovered. Here's what we found. Here's your evidence. And here's how we're presenting it to you. And let's clarify the Five of Cups, the Magician, the Four of Wands, the Two of Cups. Ultimately, we get the opportunity to manifest something new, a new direction, a new partnership. This is sort of like a new way of relating to our government within truth and integrity. This is, the people are satisfied now in terms of understanding what's happening. We approve. This is sort of like we now agree with what the government is telling us. Final card, the Justice. Let's take a look at that one. Ace of Cups, a new beginning. King of Cups, and the Fool. It's a new day, right? Like the things that we were used to in the past, they will now have their day in court. We will be able to right those wrongs. We will look in a new direction. So I actually feel very optimistic. The feel of the reading of the FBI with Cash Patel in it is a totally different vibration and energy from the FBI in the Biden administration. So I'm, for one, looking forward to hearing some of the reveals, the revelations, the transparency, knowing who the shadow government used to be, knowing the way that they did business, they conducted themselves in the past. So you gotta be able to see it, acknowledge it, and then say, not for us. We want a new path. We want to move in a new direction. We're going to expose your secrets. It's going to be shocking, the things that we learn, but ultimately it takes us to a better place in the end. Bottom of the deck is King of Pentacles. Top of the deck is Seven of Wands. We are going to work to provide evidence for the people. Interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing more in terms of what comes out of the FBI. This is Jen from Behind the Scenes Tarot. Have a great rest of your day.